Talk about a game that's for bad mofos. Not simply because Valfaris is uncommonly difficult, and it is. Oh, it really, really is. No, the heavy metal music, multi-phase boss fights, and ridiculous action 80s film aesthetic turns this game up to 11. How they produced such a lo-fi look with such fantastic pixel art is beyond me. The main character is the classic action hero. He even possesses an impossibly calm demeanor, no matter what is in his way. All this crap on the planet, it's just another day in the life. A giant bug that's trying to kill him? No big deal. This intro sums it up perfectly. Watch this. Okay, well that's unless I'm in control. And then we die over and over and over and over and over. Did I suggest this game was difficult? I've died so often I've lost count. Each new life brings a chance to modify strategy and try shooting the secondary weapon more, or maybe using the shield. Valfaris will be defined by this difficulty. It's an accomplishment if you can finish. The health bar looks a lot bigger than it actually is. These enemies chunk your health down so fast, it's brutal. That's where it's troublesome. Not the jumps or platforming, those are actually straightforward. It's down to how many projectiles and enemies are on the screen at once. Try not to take any damage. And if you do take a few hits, you'll be right back at your last checkpoint. Which, by the way, is amazing. It's my favorite mechanic in the game, since it's a risk-reward. Each checkpoint requires a resurrection idol to activate, so you need to find those resurrection idols throughout the game. But if you don't use them on the checkpoint, you can save them and it will add it to your health and energy pools. So by skipping the checkpoint, you're taking a risk that you will not die. Of course, you must be careful in doing this. Although the only thing wasted is your time, as you'll be transported all the way back to the last checkpoint you used. I love it when a game rewards the player for taking risks. Even I skipped a few checkpoints and stocked up. There's a limit though, which increases as you progress. Letting the player make a tough game even more challenging is absurd, but it works quite well. Another risk-reward mechanic is the shield. Using your energy, you can block projectiles, but if you time it right, you can catch the projectile and shoot it back. Here is an example of that. It's powerful, yet timing it correctly is crucial. So you're definitely taking a chance at taking damage, especially when there are 3 enemies on the screen all trying to murder you. It's great to see something typically defensive, a shield, used for offense. Yet it's an absolute blast to play. Valfaris is carefully crafted to give the player the best experience. From tight corridors, auto-scrollers, and even some rooms that lock you in until you defeat all the enemies. The developers' attention to detail paid off. With no filler screens, you must be ready for anything. The more you play Valfaris, the better you get at understanding how to progress. There's a steep learning curve, which feeds into the difficulty. I expect a second playthrough will be a lot more obvious, but still challenging. Anyway, the main character carries 3 weapons, a sword, a sidearm, and a third, more powerful weapon. That third weapon varies from something like a shotgun to a machine gun. There's a couple other types. That's not all. You will find more weapons along the way. Here's what happens when you find a new weapon. The third weapon uses your energy to shoot, but killing enemies with the sword replenishes energy. You need to use a mix of all the weapons to survive. I've been in tough spots and forgot to use my shotgun. After I died and ran through it again, this time using my shotgun, it was so much easier. I rely too much on the sword, but it has such a satisfyingly meaty hit that I want to chop all the enemies into bits. The issue I have with the weapons is the upgrades. You'll find blood metal throughout the game, which is used to upgrade all 3 weapon types. You spend the blood metal at an activated checkpoint, and it will make a weapon more powerful. It's actually pretty straightforward. Also, note an activated checkpoint is the only place you can swap weapons. Anyway, I struggle to choose a weapon I want to upgrade. Blood metal seems like such a rare resource, and if I spend it now, what if I find a better weapon? I don't know if I keep missing the blood metal. Maybe it's in secret areas. Look, you can also trade your resurrection idols for blood metal too. Phew, man, that's really risky though, since that will decrease your health pool. So choose become more powerful at the expense of health. I can't say if that's a good idea or not, but I appreciate that I have the choice. The bosses are the highlight of the game. I find each one a new, joyful experience since they're so unexpected. I thought that it would have a strict pattern that the player needed to memorize to progress, but it's not about learning a pattern. Sure, they have a set of moves, but the bosses change their actions based on the player. For example, a robot boss will shoot their flamethrower at different heights depending on where you're standing. You can manipulate the bosses into doing moves that work better for you. Overall, this is an amazing game if you want something that will challenge you. I'm not joking around. This is one of the most difficult games I've played recently. But there's no way I can deny how much fun I'm having. Frustrating, yes, but because I care so much to keep playing this game. Also, the style of the game is something I'm into. This strange world of bugs and gross stuff, combined with the gore, combined with the metal, well, I don't want to live there, but I'm happy to live vicariously through the main character. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you enjoyed the video, which, let's face it, I know you did. And keep on rocking.